Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be doing What If Deku Was Nightmare Sans Part 1. So, when Deku was born, he is pretty normal. He's basically kin of Deku, but he has a twin brother. And let's fast forward a bit, because I can't really do much with newborns. Let's say they are both the age of 4 right now. And Inko is taking the two boys to the quirk doctor to see what their quirks are. And when the doctor comes back with the results are Deku's quirk name is called Nightmare. Basically, he can either give people nightmares or visions of their worst fears. Is the best I could describe this. And his brother has basically the exact opposite of that quirk. Basically, his quirk is called Sweet Dream. Basically, he can give people nice dreams or just visions of their like happiest day. So when the two boys are growing up, they are pretty fine. Like the bond between them isn't like distorted or anything. They don't have any grudges or like they don't have any beef with each other. Not yet. Keep that in mind. That might be part 2. I don't know yet. But let's say it's the last day of middle school. And Deku has been bullied for having a villainous quirk. Sadly. But let's say it's last day of middle school. Teacher walks in to the classroom with all the papers, and he's like, "So, what do you kids want to be when you get out of school?" Excuse me. And then he's like, he throws the papers up in the air. He's like, we all know that you guys want to be heroes. And he goes through the list, and he's like, looks like 3 people from this class has chosen to try out for the UA entrance exam. And Bakugo stands up. He's like, 3? And the teacher reads out the list. Katsuki, Bakugo, Izuku Midoriya, and his brother. Oh, and if you have a name for Deku's brother, please comment it. I am terrible at names. And then everyone like turns to Deku, and they all start like laughing at him because they're like, how can that villain get into UA, let alone be a hero? And let's say after school, let's say they take it a little too far. Let's say Deku's family owns this tree. This tree is no ordinary tree. This tree grows golden apples, and it's said that whoever eats one of these golden apples will experience the best feeling ever. Basically giving them the best feeling ever. And Deku gets to the tree before the bullies catch up with him. So he sits down up against the tree, and he's like thinking to himself. He's like, what if I eat one of these apples? And he reaches for one, and he touches one, and it starts turning black. And he's like, what the? He pulls back. He doesn't pull the apple. He pulls back because he doesn't know what's going on. And then the bullies arrive, and his brother's not there. He's let's say he had to finish something up, so Deku left first. And then the bullies get there, and they start straight up beating up Deku. Bakugo and his little goons, his entourage, his little gang, whatever you want to call it. They start beating on Deku. And then Deku's like cornered up against a tree. He's like bruised and like a little bloodied, and he's like screw it, and he grabs it. He grabs an apple, and the thing turns completely black. But before we continue that, let's cut over to Deku's brother's point of view. So his brother, he's coming up behind the bullies. He's coming on a little later, and he shows up, and he's like, "What's going on?" Like he's like thinking to himself, he's like, "What's going on?" And it's like, then he sees Bakugo like and his little gang cornered Deku against the tree, and he looks at Deku, and he has this black apple in his hand, and he's like, and his brother's thinking to himself, he's like, what is he doing? And then Deku takes a bite out of the apple, and this like tendrils start coming out of his back, and black goo starts coming out of his body. Basically, what the picture looks like right now. Right now, that's basically what Deku looks like. Like at this time and moment, that's what he looks like. And then he starts beating down on these bullies. Like he starts beating the crap out of them. Like, let's say like Bakugo like sent two of them, like two of his little gang at him. Deku just freaking grabs one of them and throws him to the other one. And then like all the other ones just like, oh, like all the other like little like henchmen like all run away because they're like scared. And then like Bakugo's just like standing there frozen in fear. He's like, what am I gonna do against this guy? And then Deku's brother stands in. Let's say he summons this staff, which turns into a bow, and they fight. But it's nothing like too off the scales to get like pro heroes there. It's nothing like that. It's basically his brother trying to restrain Deku long enough for Deku to get back in control. And after that, after Deku is his brother finally is able to restrain Deku a bit. When Deku regains consciousness of his body, because he was like in this blackout rage state because of the apple and the transformation, and Deku like puts his hand on his head, and he's like, "What happened?" And then he looks down at himself, and he's like, "What happened to me?" And then he looks over to his brother. His brother's like, "I don't know." And let's say their parents aren't around, like they don't really come home, and even when they do, they're usually asleep by then. and then his brother hugs Deku, and Deku's like, why do you care? He's like, why do you care about a monster like me? And then Deku's brother's like, you're not a monster, you're my brother. So 10 months of training, basically Deku's trying to get a hold of his new form, basically. And like he learned that he could summon up like in about as endless amounts of tendrils out of his back, but he also learned he could like make hands and like claws out with the tendrils. So like say like he like reached for something and a tendril like shot out to like grab it, and it like turned into a hand and it grabbed it for him. And basically what his brother's doing, he's basically working on his aim with his bow and see how much, like how pinpoint and how much power he could output with that bow. So let's fast forward a bit. 10 months of training is over. And day of the entrance exam. So Deku and his brother are are walking up to UA. And let's say Deku doesn't shrimp, but his brother does. But Deku catches him with one of his tentacles. So, yeah, so they don't meet Uraraka. And, sorry guys, I'm tired. Where was I? Yeah. So, written exam, they both ace it. They, tie for first because, let's say Deku does, a lot of reading and, a lot of research. And, yeah, and basically, during the 10 months, not only did they did physical training, but they did a bunch of study, and Deku caught his brother up on a lot of stuff. Okay. Now, here comes the fun part, the practical exam, I think that's what it's called. The robots. So, let's say, before President Mike starts the countdown, let's say, Deku's brother is, at the, in front of the gate, right up there, in front. He's, right up next in front of the gate. And, for me to make this easier on myself, I'm just gonna call Deku's brother Dream. And if you do have a good name for Deku's brother, please comment it, because I'm not good with names. But let's say everyone's looking at Deku a little weird, because he kind of looks like this picture right here. This is basically what he looks like. And everyone's looking at him a little weird because he's got this black goo coming off of him. And let's say Deku sees his brother at the front of the gate, and he's like, cool, might as well join him. And let's say Ida, you're gonna learn. You mess with the wrong people. Let's say Deku puts his not Deku, Ida puts his hand on his shoulder. He's like, so you're trying to distract other participants of the exam. And Deku looks back. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you going to talk to that girl over there. And he points to this short brown hair girl. And then Deku looks at him like, what are you talking about? I'm just going to the front of the gate. And then he is like, sorry, man. And he's like, and then Deku slaps his arm away with one of his tendrils. Yeah, whatever. And Ida's thinking to himself, Ida's thinking, he's like, ooh, so he a troublemaker now. And then Ida's gonna now be hell bent to try to show him up, which it's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. But then President Mike starts the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Gates open. Everyone floods out. But let's say Deku ties a tendril to each side of the gate, and he kind of slingshots himself to where all the robots are, and he starts tearing these things apart. He used tendrils to claw. Oh, and the sludge villain incident never happened. It didn't happen. Let's just say All Might caught the sludge villain before it could hurt anyone. And let's say Deku and his brother meet up. They go back to back and start destroying robots. And when the Zero Pointer gets there, he's like, you really want to take this on? He's like, nah. So they're about to walk away. But then they hear Uraraka scream. And then they both, Dream gets Uraraka, and Deku takes out the Zero Pointer. And they both teleport away when the buzzer sounds. And everyone's just in shock about what these two are doing. And that's about where I'm going to leave this part off, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next part. Peace.